Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cornea Impression. I don't think there's a better place made on earth to sit and contemplate your life's decisions and your life's future or past. No better place made to decide what needs to be done in your multi-million dollar business, or if you're a head of state, decide the future of all the people that serve you or are your citizens. Say hello to the BMW i7. The rear seats of the BMW i7 are its heart and soul. Made with exquisite leather and material, the carpet is thick and the whole thing is just super and uber comfortable and luxurious. So luxurious that I don't want to drive this car. I want to sit at the back seat and let someone else drive me around. The entire design makes sure that there is enough headroom, leg room, shoulder room. It feels airy and luxurious and spacious at the same time. So that is a big win for BMW. Obviously, you can get it with 2 seats and an Ottoman feature, which is not there in this particular car, but you can spec it. A center console, wireless charging, which can go in and then go up, giving you space for a third passenger in case you wanna feel a little cramped. But I highly suggest you don't do that. But the party pieces are these two 5.5-inch touch screens on the side of the door handles for either passenger, which control everything, all the media, telephone, seats, air conditioning, lighting in the entire car. And it has multiple modes as well. So there's relax, in which the entire ambience of the car changes to a light bluish hue, letting you relax. There's expressive, where the color changes as well. Personal, where you can individually go and change to exactly what you want, the entire setup of the car. And then you have the theater mode, where all the blinds, everything close, and we get this beautiful monitor which is 31 inches and has 8K resolution open. And then you can pretty much watch anything on this. You can stream music, you can play Netflix, you can even connect a PlayStation and play it because you have an HDMI input as well. But in case you want to go back to doing work or just enjoying the scenery outside, just go at the touch of a button and everything goes away. We're talking about the interiors on the BMW i7, and honestly, all I feel like is a chauffeur. I don't feel like a person who owns this car, because a lot of the features are designed for the rear passengers and designed to be controlled by the rear passengers as well. But since I'm here, let me take you through it. In case you decide that you want to drive your BMW i7, you would want to know these features. So, traditional chunky BMW steering wheel, like always, with the M badge, because this is the M or performance version of the i7. Now, this is as unique as you can get with an interior. There's so much going on. So first of all, let's start with all the crystal bits. You've seen the BMW started using crystals on the interiors from the BMW X5 or X6 a couple of years ago. So I think 2018 or 2019. But showcasing those crystals are obviously the traditional BMW rotary selector, this gear lever, and now this looks like crystal but is not crystal. I think it's some sort of plastic across the entire width of the car. You have crystal on the seat adjustments over here, And then obviously you have the Swarovski crystal headlights. But this, coming back to this one, this is plastic, but it has a light bar underneath it, and this light keeps changing depending on your driving situation or how you want to feel. So if you want to relax, then you can change it. You want to feel aggressive or sporty, it becomes red. It keeps on doing different things at different points of time. Point being, when you put on your hazards, it's supposed to be a gentle touch. I'm used to force feeding everything down the button thing, but it's just a simple touch. I just didn't know that. Don't fault BMW for that. Augmented reality over here. So what does augmented reality do is when you start navigation on this car, it will give you arrows as to where to go and how to go, which lane, markings, etc. Obviously, it has adaptive cruise control, all the safety systems, braking, blah blah blah, all the stuff that you would get in a super luxury saloon. Now, the whole point of all those features are to make sure that you drive comfortably, effortlessly, in a very relaxed manner, taking away the stress of driving. This whole car is designed with that purpose in mind. Backseat comfort, and if you drive, take away the stress of driving. Materials are obviously open pore wood over here. There is open pore wood. These beautiful individual leather seats, massage features, heated and cooled seats. All the bells and whistles that you can imagine are there over here. They have a Bose and Wilkins audio system which looks good, sounds good as well. Another cool thing, the AC vents are adjusted from here, and they're hidden in the dashboard somewhere, so you really cannot tell where the vent is, but they channel air on you in a very nice and diffused manner, which is what I like. You can adjust the amount of airflow from this screen, but if you want to go back into the climate control, you have to use a touch screen and do all of that over there. To open the glove box, you have this touch button over here. Why? But you cannot close it from there, you have to close it this way. And obviously the doors are button operated. They open close fully automatically, aka Rolls-Royce. This car has air suspension. Again, a lot of this tech would have been used or previewed or shared with some or the other Rolls-Royce model. I honestly get why this car has become electric, and I will share that with you in the performance bit. I'm still trying to figure out what I feel about the looks of this car. I have been driving it around for a few days and I've been looking at it all the time. Like whenever I pass by, I park it or whatever. And I still wonder, do I actually like the looks of the car? And usually it favors the no side. Now I get that why people may like it, because it's a very unique style language. It's very interesting to look at, and there's nothing like it on the market. It looks completely different. It's very eye-catching and it is very flashy. So a lot of people get attracted to that kind of statement, and this ticks all those boxes. Now obviously it's an EV. BMW has put a ton of money into researching design and styles, and they probably know something that we don't know, and hence they made this car. Now, judging by the amount of 7 Series, doesn't matter petrol or electric, that I'm seeing on the road nowadays, looks like BMW 7 Series design language is successful. Obviously China is a big market for them, and when a style like this is successful in the Chinese and American markets, there's no looking back at any other part of the world. It is a sales success for BMW, and automatically, whether we like it or no, this car is available at a BMW showroom next to us. But putting aside the styling, putting aside the design language, let's talk about what makes it really interesting is Well, these nice, beautiful, twinkling headlights. When you start the car, switch off the car, they give you a nice twinkling effect like stars, which look phenomenal. And they are designed by Swarovski. So Swarovski is making crystal headlights just for the 7 Series. That by itself is a very expensive proposition if you manage to damage those headlights. I'm sure no insurer will like to pay for those headlights. But a lot of quirky design bits over here. This is blacked out, the grille completely, and because this is an electric car, the vents are shut. In the petrol car, the vents are open to let airflow go through to the engine. At the same time, we have obviously the LED headlights, which are the signature with the grille of the front end. Even though this may look very boxy or very monolith type, there is a lot of aerodynamics at play in this car. Now, looking at the side profile, you can see it has the individual rims. This is an individual car, BMW individual car, so it is loaded with tons of options and specs. I personally love this color combination with slight gold in the rims with the red, very Iron Man style, right? So yeah, very interesting looking car. Nothing much on the sides are very plain, but again, this is exactly opposite of what the EQS is. The EQS is like a wedge. If you see the shape, it's curvy and it's wedge. This is boxy and long, very, very muscular in style. To that extent, it reminds me of a car that politicians or statespeople would like to be driven around in because it has so much street presence. Imagine this car as a car for a head of state, and it really fits the look and ball. It really fits the profile of a head of state car. Side profile, nothing much to talk about, pretty much slab. The doors are automatically controlled just like a Rolls Royce, and you know where that tech came from in a BMW. Let's go talk about the rear. While we speak about the rear, obviously you have the BMW badge, a small lip spoiler over here, and the xDrive 60 badging. xDrive in BMW speak means all-wheel drive. This is again a very minimalist design, nothing much to tell you guys about. Very slab-sided. It just looks like the entire car was built from a single piece of metal. Interesting feature that you would like to know, or interesting fact, this car has a ton of recycled aluminium, and that recycled aluminium was made right here in the UAE at EGA. EGA, I think, makes or is the world's largest aluminium factory, and they're also the world's largest refiner or manufacturer of recycled aluminium. So down the line, a ton of BMW cars will have recycled aluminium right from the UAE. Can you see the BMW triangles over here? Well, I can see them. I'm sure you can see them. But there's supposed to be a heart over here. Can you see the heart? I cannot. If you can see the heart, screenshot and send it to me in the comments, because for the life of me, I cannot see a heart over here. Talking about the performance bits on the BMW i7, it has dual motors, so that makes it an all-wheel drive car. That's why it's called xDrive 60. It has a 101 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, which is liquid cooled to make sure it manages or is at the right optimal temperature at any given point of time. Now the range on this thing is roughly around 550 kilometers. That's the claimed range. I haven't been able to do a proper range test, but I've been seeing it drop like a rock. So I would discount that claim to roughly 480-470 kilometers per charge in real life terms. Now 101 kilowatt hour translates to 536 horsepower in terms of the conversion. So this car delivers 536 horsepower of power and does 0 to 100 in roughly 4.5 seconds. Now this is a very heavy car, so it's obviously 2+ tons. But BMW has really done a good job of hiding that weight. It cruises effortlessly on highways, and when you want to speed, the power like any other EV is available. Surprisingly, the body roll is not that much. It's actually a very manageable body roll, so you don't feel your head moving around, all of that stuff, which actually is a very comfortable experience when you want to drive fast. And it handles bends and corners very well as well. So all of it is very BMW like. Obviously there isn't any feedback on the steering wheel like a sports car, but this is a luxury car and all you need to do in it is straight line performance, which is immaculate. Air suspension comes into play, making it comfortable like I told you earlier. Brakes are brilliant, and all in all, it's a very good feeling driving this car. Rear passengers, I'm sure, are going to be comfortable enough. Yash, are you comfortable?
Yeah, pretty comfortable.
Even when I was speeding?
Yep.
Okay, so Yash gives us the thumbs up. He's sitting at the back seat and he's super comfortable while I am pushing this car around turns and bends. Obviously, I'm not taking this around a racetrack, but a city circuit, and that's where this car will be used. For a city car, this is brilliantly well designed. It is very big in size though. It's quite long and it's quite bulky, so finding the right parking spot is going to be tricky. You also have an overboost mode on the battery. So basically it's like the extra turbo that's pulling up in turbocharged cars. In the second turbo, in this car you press boost and you get 10 seconds of more power from the battery. And launch control on this is not as violent as the other electric cars that we have driven in the past. So it's very smooth, very comfortable. And we'll be doing a launch control on this thing right now. You go into driving modes, go into expressive and stay on the brakes. Accelerate. Can you hear that? Take that in. That's a sound by Hans Zimmer, who's custom designed this audio for this car. And let's go. Like a concert, and every time you accelerate, the sound comes up, even at low speeds. So it's like a permanent orchestra in the car, which can be customized by you depending on how you accelerate. I haven't driven the EQS yet, but I have driven the Porsche Taycan, and the Porsche Taycan is a completely different animal. That's a very sporty car. It's actually designed as a sports car rather than an electric vehicle. Electric is just a means to give it power to be able to perform, but it's first a sports car. This car makes so much sense as an EV. Any luxury sedan or SUV makes sense as an EV because you're in it for the comfort, you're in it for chilling, you're in it for cruising and just having a good time and getting to your position in a very, very seamless manner. And this car delivers on that. Honestly, I cannot find faults with this car. There are its quirks which you have to get used to, but there's nothing wrong. Does it make for an interesting buy or a good buy? Yes, definitely it does. Does it look good? Now that is subjective. I'm seeing a lot of i7s and 7 Series on the road. So I'm assuming people are actually liking the 7 Series in contrary to what enthusiasts may think. So definitely sales-wise, people are going out and buying these cars. If they're going and buying these cars, that means they like the looks of the cars. They like the fact that it's so different from the rest of what's available in the market. The EQS looks like every other Mercedes. You will be very, very hard pressed to tell the difference between an EQE and an EQS because they look very similar. Whereas the 7 Series or the i7 stands out. It's like no other car on the market. So if you want to stand out, if you think that your personality can match the personality of this car, then definitely you should buy the i7. Now the price in the US is definitely cheaper than what we will get here in the UAE or in the GCC region. In the UAE, it's anywhere between $95,000 up to $120,000 depending on what you spec and where you are. But here in the UAE, be prepared to pay close to 600,000 dirhams on this car easy. They are going to be matching the prices to the EQS. So whatever the EQS and the Porsche Taycan Turbo S it's going to be close to that. Thank you for watching the Cornea Impression, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.